Welcome, brave souls, to a chapter of Azeroth's history where the shadow refuses to fade. Today, we dive into the aftermath of the Lich King's fall, a cataclysmic shift that left the Scourge fractured and its necromantic heart, Scholomance, teetering on the edge of chaos. With legends like Kel'Thuzad gone and the undead legions in disarray, one figure rose from the ashes, Dark Master Gandlin, the sadistic headmaster whose grip on this cursed school tightens like a noose. From his failed conquest of Anderhall to the eventual return of the undead Barov heirs, Scholomance remains a festering wound in the Plaguelands, a crucible of necromancy where the past and present collide in a storm of vengeance, betrayal, and unrelenting darkness. But the story doesn't end there. Enter Lillian Voss, a rogue bent on annihilating the necromancers who damned her, only to face Gandlin's twisted power. Add the Shadow Council's hunt for forbidden artifacts, and the Argent Crusade's desperate stand against this enduring evil, and you've got a saga that spans wars, expansions, and the unyielding will to conquer death itself. So grab your blades and light your torches. We're descending into Scolomance's depths to uncover the chaos, the battles, and the dark legacy that still haunts Azeroth today. Cataclysm. With the fall of the Lich King, the malevolent overlord whose iron will had once unified the Scourge, and the subsequent deaths of many of its key leaders, including several who had once presided over Scholomance, the Scourge found itself in a state of unprecedented disarray. The loss of figures like Kel'Thuzad and others who had shaped the necromantic school left the undead legions weakened and directionless, their once relentless advance across Lordaeron faltering without a guiding hand. Amid this power vacuum, Dark Master Gandlin, the cunning and sadistic mortal necromancer who served as Scolomance's headmaster, seized the opportunity to assert his dominance. Leveraging his formidable ability to command the undead, Gandlin began to unofficially take control of the fragmented Scourge forces in the region. He marshaled these remnants to maintain his iron grip over Scholomance, which stood as the last bastion of Scourge power west of the Thondrol River, and embarked on an ambitious campaign to extend his influence by attempting to seize the strategically vital town of Anderhall. Gandlin's bid to conquer Anderhall, a key location in the Western Plaguelands long contested by the living and the dead, ultimately ended in failure. Despite his necromantic prowess and the forces at his command, he could not overcome their resistance, likely bolstered by factions such as the Argent Crusade or remnants of the Forsaken, who sought to reclaim the town from the Scourge's grasp. Thwarted, Gandlin withdrew to the shadowy crypts of Scholomance, retreating into the familiar darkness of his stronghold to bide his time. There, surrounded by undead minions and twisted horrors he controlled, he licked his wounds and plotted his next move, determined to preserve his dominion over the school and rebuild his strength for future conquests. Scholomance, fortified by its subterranean defenses and the necromancer's ruthless will, remained a festering wound in the Plaguelands, a grim reminder of the Scourge's lingering threat even in its diminished state. Meanwhile, the legacy of the Barov family resurfaced as Alexei and Wielden Barov, two of the last surviving heirs, now undead themselves, reunited with a shared purpose. Once estranged and consumed by their own fates, the brothers set aside their differences, their attention drawn back to Scholomance, their ancestral home that had been corrupted by their family's fateful deal with Kel'Thuzad. Driven by a mix of vengeance, guilt, and a desire to reclaim their birthright, Alexei and Wielden turned their formidable powers towards purging the Scourge from the keep. Alexei, a spectral wraith consumed by rage, and Wielden, a death knight hardened by undeath, launched a determined assault on Scholomance, intent on dismantling Gandlin's reign and freeing their former home from the necromantic blight that had consumed it. Their campaign pitted them against the very forces their family had once unleashed, setting the stage for a bitter struggle between the Barov siblings and the dark legacy they sought to destroy, as Scholomance became the crucible for their redemption or their final downfall. Mists of Pandaria. Lillian Voss, a fierce and relentless undead rogue driven by an unquenchable hatred for their necromancers, entered the shadowed halls of Scholomance with a singular purpose: to eradicate the practitioners of the dark arts who had twisted her existence and countless others. Her journey into the crypts was fueled by a burning desire for vengeance, her blades poised to strike down the remnants of the Scourge that lingered within. However, her mission took a dire turn when she confronted Dark Master Gandlin, the cunning and malevolent headmaster of the school. Gandlin, ever the master manipulator, proved too powerful for Voss in this encounter. With his mastery over necromantic energies, he subdued her, bending her will and turning her into a weapon against her own allies. Under his control, Lillian became a reluctant pawn. Her undead nature exploited to sow chaos among those she had once fought alongside, a cruel twist of fate that mirrored the torment of her cursed existence. Yet, Voss's spirit was not so easily broken. Adventurers, drawn to Scholomance by tales of its horrors and the promise of loot or glory, eventually clashed with Gandalin and his forces. In the ensuing battle, they managed to defeat the Dark Master, shattering his hold over Voss and leaving her battered and presumed dead amidst the carnage. Against all odds, she clawed her way back from the brink, her resilience defying the necromancer's intent. Escaping the crypts, she left behind traces of her presence, most notably a necklace with a dark, ominous luster, a relic that hinted at the shadowy power she wielded and the trials she had endured. This artifact, abandoned in her flight, became a haunting memento of her struggle. It's a gleaming silent testament to her survival and the unresolved vendetta that still burned within her. In the same assault, the adventurers found an unexpected ally in Lord Alexei Barov, the spectral remnant of the Barov patriarch that had once ruled Caer Darrow. Tormented by the curse that bound his family to undeath, and desperate to atone for the betrayal that had birthed Scholomance, Alexei lent his ghostly strength to the fight against Gandalin. He harbored a fragile hope that the headmaster's death would sever the necromantic taint that plagued his former home, lifting the curse upon Caer Darrow and granting his restless spirit the peace that had eluded him for so long. Together, the adventurers and Alexei struck at Gandalin, their combined efforts toppling the sadistic necromancer in a battle that shook the very foundations of the school. Whether Alexei's death blow against Gandalin truly freed his soul, or merely deepened the tragedy of the Barov's legacy remains uncertain, but the fall of the Dark Master marked a turning point for Scholomance, a fleeting victory in the ongoing war against the darkness that still festers within the crypts itself. Legion. As the tides of power shifted in the wake of the Scourge's decline, the Shadow Council, a secret cabal of warlocks and dark sorcerers loyal to the Burning Legion, established a clandestine encampment in the ruins of Caer Darrow, drawn by the lingering aura of corruption that clung to the Forsaken City. Their presence was no mere coincidence. The Council sought to exploit the chaos following the Lich King's fall, their ambitions fixed on acquiring artifacts of immense power to further their demonic master's agenda. To this end, emissaries of the Shadow Council ventured into the depths of Scholomance, where they parlayed with the remnants of the Cult of the Damned, still entrenched within the crypt. Their goal was singular and audacious: to secure the Book of Medivh, a legendary tome of arcane and fell knowledge once wielded by the Guardian of Tirisfal himself. This grimoire, rumored to hold secrets capable of reshaping reality, had long been a coveted prize, and the Council believed it lay hidden amidst Scolomance's trove of forbidden relics, guarded by the cultists who revered its dark legacy. Negotiations between the two factions were tense, marked by mutual distrust, yet bound by a shared hunger for power that transcended their different allegiances. Meanwhile, another figure entered the fray: Parmira, a mysterious agent whose motives remained shrouded in ambiguity. Whether driven by personal gain, loyalty to a higher cause, or a desire to thwart the Shadow Council's plans, Parmira dispatched an adventurer to infiltrate Scholomance on a perilous mission. The task was specific: retrieve the ancient arcana, a potent and rare magical substance, from a pile of ancient arcana rumored to be stashed within the school's labyrinth depths. This mysterious resource, imbued with primal arcane energies, held the potential to fuel powerful rituals or craft artifacts of great significance, making it a prize worth risking the horrors of Scholomance to obtain. The adventurer, braving the school's haunted corridors and the watchful eyes of its undead denizens, navigated a gauntlet of skeletal constructs, vengeful spirits, and the ever-present threat of Dark Master Ganlin's lingering influence. The pile of ancient arcana, likely tucked away in a forgotten chamber amidst dusty tomes and necromantic residue, represented a glimmer of triumph in an otherwise bleak and treacherous quest. Its retrieval, a testament to the adventurer's skill and resolve in the face of the darkness that still reigned over Caer Darrow's cursed legacy. Exploring Azeroth, Matthias Shaw, the astute and seasoned spymaster of Stormwind's SI-7, delivered a detailed report at the conclusion of the Fourth War, shedding light on the persistent shadow cast by Scholomance. Despite the upheavals that had rocked Azeroth, including the fall of the Lich King and the weakening of the Scourge, Shaw confirmed that Scholomance remained operational as a school of necromancy, its dark legacy enduring amidst the ruins of Caradera. This troubling revelation prompted scrutiny from the Argent Crusade, a stalwart order dedicated to combating the undead and purging the world of necromantic corruption. The Crusade launched an investigation into the school's activities, their agents braving the Plaguelands of Lordaeron to uncover the extent of its ongoing operations. Their reports painted a grim picture. Several members of the Barov family, twisted into undead monstrosities by their long-ago pact with Kel'Thuzad, still lingered within Scolomance's crypts, bound to the site by the curse that had claimed their humanity. Among them was Jandis Barov, a spectral sorceress whose mastery of illusion and necromancy made her a formidable presence, her ghostly form a haunting echo of the family's former glory. At the heart of this ghoulish institution stood Dark Master Gandlin, the insidious necromancer who still continued to reign as headmaster. Far from diminished, Gandlin remained a potent force, his sadistic intellect and command over the undead undeterred by the Scourge's decline. Crusade's findings revealed that he had amassed a host of puppets to serve at his whim, including Jandis Barov and the monstrous Rattlegore, a hulk and bone golem crafted from the remains of countless victims. Rattlegore, with its thunderous steps and devastating strength, roamed the halls as both a guardian and a terror, a living testament to Gandlin's skill in the animation of the dead. These minions, alongside other constructs and spirits, ensured that Scholomance remained a fortress of necromantic power, its influence a persistent thorn in the side of those seeking to cleanse the Western Plaguelands. Shaw's report also highlighted a curious artifact tied to the school's dark history, one of the ritual hoods used by the Cult of the Damned during their early experiments at Scholomance. Recognizing its sinister significance, likely imbued with residual necromantic energy, he advised that it be secured within the manor of Caradero to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. However, fate had other plans. Both the hood and the Barovian family sword, a once proud heirloom now tainted by the family's fall, were instead transported to Mardenhold Keep in Hearthglen, a stronghold of the Argent Crusade. There, they were put on display, perhaps as a warning or a trophy of the ongoing struggle against the forces of undeath. The decision to house these relics in Hearthglen underscored the Crusade's resolve to monitor and contain Scolomance's influence, even as Gandlin and his puppets continued their dark work, defying the passage of time and efforts of their foes to bring an end to the school's nightmarish legacy. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Content comes out weekly with lore videos on Sunday, ambiance videos on Monday, and protection paladin content on Thursdays.